Hey guys, Headcase here. I'm doing a video uh, to demonstrate some of the stuff that I've been working on for GameX. I was using Fraps before, and all it could do was capture the actual rendering window, and it didn't allow me to go over some of the more some of the interface related stuff. And I just so what's happened is that Tom has kindly donated this capture card, and I went out and bought a decent microphone because the headset I was using just sounded crap. So I got and also got a HD webcam to record everything. Logitech C90, C920, I think it was. And also these got a cool T-shirt printed up with the GameX Evolution logo. I love it. I think it's really cool. Um, Maybe if people are interested, we could do a batch order or something. But I just thought I'd get one for these for the tutorials that I wanted to do, demonstrations of the new engine and things like that. I'm not actually going to be demonstrating the engine today. I'm going to be showing you some of the, well, I call them prototypes. They're just projects that I create separately from the engine, and then so I can work on them, concentrate on them. It's just easier for testing, and it's just a lot more efficient that way. So I did make a post a little bit about the font editor, which I think it was called Bitmap Font Renderer, but now it's like Bitmap Font Creator, I think it was, but now it's Bitmap Font Editor. There's already a program out there of the same name. So anyway, so just recently I've been working on this quite a bit. I think that rendering fonts is really important, so I've spent quite a bit of time, and of course created this entire program. The format that this is going to output is going to be compatible with the engine, so you can use this to create your fonts or visually. I don't know if I'm going to integrate this entire thing into into the layout editor, I should say, or if I'm just going to keep it as a separate program. Anyway, I guess time will tell on that one. But if you see on here on the side, we've got all the controls. You can see it generates a texture font. But what I've been working on recently was the alignment. This has been a bit of a bitch, but believe it or not, this is actually quite difficult because of kerning and trailing glyphs and all that sort of thing. But I think it's really important because if you look at the aligned text here, you'll see it's justified text, and it looks so much better. If you've got a screen with information about a game or whatever, just left justified just doesn't do it. It doesn't look that good. So I thought it was important to get justified text working. So I did spend some time on that. Spent a few days on all that. So I had to rewrite a lot of the rendering code to deal with the glyph overhang, and also breaking the characters, the new line characters, by measuring each word. So yeah, it's because there's actually no new lines in this text. It's all just one text, and it's auto breaking it up, and it works quite good. But it did take a while to get that right. So on the left here, you can see it's nice and easy to select your font. I like to have a little bit of a visual of the font. If I'm looking for a font, you want to be able to just go through quickly, and that's a nice and easy way to do it. I've got the gradients. Is something that's really important here. I wanted to do stopped gradients, which means it's not just one color to another color. It's actually, you can have different shades of color going into each other. And so I found a gradient editor online, and I've implemented that. It's based on the Photoshop gradient editor. And so you can set the the text gradient. There's also, I just recently added the ability to do a second stroke. I think stroking looks really great, and I just like whenever I look at a lot of fonts, and quite often I see they've got two strokes, just like a little fine outline with another stroke, and to me it just adds another dimension. So I really wanted to do that. And you'll see here that also supports gradients, so I can just select that, and you'll see it adds a gradient to that second stroke there. Shadowing needs a bit of work, but I didn't want to spend too much time on that. So anyway, that's basically, I just wanted to show you the bitmap font editor. Fonts are so important to this engine. It's unfortunate, but that Windows does have issues, especially GDI Plus when it comes to text measuring. I know Tom knows this. I mean, we've had so many issues with text measuring and rendering. I know that Mac OS X does such a better job at that, because we all know that Steve Jobs was obsessed with beautiful fonts, and I think he did. I know that Windows is better with the latest DirectX, and it's got I think it's called Direct Text or something, and they've done a much better job. But still, I mean, there's no support for rendering bitmap fonts, so it's still going to be very useful, even if eventually we use some of the new technology. And also Windows 8 has come out with multicolored fonts, which won't be supported at the moment, because we always have to think of backwards compatible. But I think eventually maybe I'll be able to do it with the editor, so someone on Windows 8 can create a use a multicolored font in here, generate it into a texture, and then anyone can use it, even on XP. Okay, so that's the bitmap font editor. And another project I've been working on lately is the touch keyboard. Now, this is really important to me, I think anyway, because when you first launch GameX, what is the user going to see? It's going to be, from what me and Tom are discussing, it's going to be a login screen and a password. So when you're on an arcade machine, you go to enter in your password, we want to pop up this really good looking keyboard. So I've been working quite a bit on a touch keyboard, and it is based on the Windows 8 keyboard. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I basically copied it, as they say, greatest form of flattery. But anyway, let's just launch it, get straight into it. It animates up like the actual Windows 8 one. And yes, I did actually recreate all the icons using this in Photoshop, apart from the smiley faces, these are glyphs from Windows 8, and then I've converted them into PNG and put them into a texture atlas. So it's got the same sounds. It actually functions as a real on-screen keyboard, believe it or not. So this is what prototyping is all about. I wanted to get it functioning. When it goes into the engine, it's not necessarily going to have to function as a real on-screen keyboard, but there might be some use for that, that we're not aware of yet. But let me just show you. And it's also, you can hold down, and it's got key repeat, and it's also got some, you can select all, cut, paste. Also, we have support for MCE remote, so we just basically there. Oh, it's because I'm clicking O. Okay. which is enter as well. Anyway, that's obviously a bug, but at the moment, for testing purpose, I do use the cursor keys for testing, so I don't have to use a remote control. But also, it supports Logitech joystick. So, this I'm making a mess here, aren't I? Delete that. Of course, when you do a demonstration, it normally goes wrong, but I can edit this out, so it's all good. There we go. So that's basically the on-screen keyboard. Yeah, you can move it around. There's another little trick it does with, like the Windows 8 one. If you click on here, it'll set the active window to that size and bring that out. Of course, probably stuff that's not going to be relevant for the engine, but I just wanted to be a little bit more complete. One thing it does I haven't added, and that's the extra, accented characters. When you hold in Windows 8, if you hold down on the E, you'll get a little box where you can select from accented keys. Might be something that we'll need eventually with all the different support for different languages. But I'll just show you that it does actually work with smileys. These are actually UTF-32 characters that to use send input, you have to convert them to the UTF-16 surrogate pair and send them separately. I'll just show you as well, like this neat little trick. I'm using an algorithm that for finding the nearest key. If you'll see, it actually checks against each like if you're going from this key down, it'll check from the top of every character to figure out what the closest key is. So, and also it remembers the last key. So if you go from this key and go back, it just doesn't make sense to do it any other way. But that, because it uses an algorithm, people can actually do any sort of keyboard layout they want. And you'll see here, because it's all XML, and we all love XML because it's just great for defining things, data. And so you'll see here, this is the font ripped from Windows 8 using its color font rendering, and just put into a texture that that's all the engine doing that. And everyone's always asking, can we skin it? Can we customize it? Yes, I want everything to be customizable. So you'll see here these are all just keys. They're all just squares of color, but you could put a texture on there and make it more like a real looking keyboard, a 3D looking keyboard. And all these symbols I just recreated using the Windows 8 design. So and of course it has all the sounds from the Windows 8 version. So anyway, I just wanted to go over some of the stuff I've been working on and get you up to date. I'm going to be doing more stuff on the layout editor and engine when that comes closer to completion. I haven't actually put all the menu system in yet, which is going to be needed, like if I'm going to open up a layout and add objects and sort of show you how to build something, build a layout, build a design. And that's just not in yet, because these things, like the keyboard, it's just something that has to be done. I wanted to do a really good keyboard, and the font rendering, of course, is important. So, but the next thing I really want to work on is the layout editor, and I'll be doing a tutorial on that and just going over all the features. And I'm not sure if we're going to release these videos to the public or not. You know, I would like to find someone on the team that would like to do the videos, maybe even just extra videos. But what I'm going to do at the very minimal is do videos to demonstrate to the team, so you guys can get a better, so you guys can be better at providing support, and you'll know if I run you through everything, you'll get the gist, and then you'll be able to play around and be better at understanding how it works. And that's about it for this video. I'll be back soon for another one. Hopefully when I get the layout editor a bit more into functioning order. Anyway, this is Headcase saying goodbye. You know, evolve or die, basically, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.